when it comes to you truly understanding that you are the creator of your universe and that essentially anything that you desire is available for you to actually create, and that nothing is impossible for you to create, because as long as it's in your mind, as long as it's in your imagination, it is possible. You just have to have faith in the fact that your consciousness is the individualized expression of God, therefore making you an extension of God, therefore making you God. Now, when you get through all of the obstacles and the distractions that pull you away from this fact, and you begin to really want to dive deeper into the essence of who you are and the essence of your nature as a creator, and you truly want to understand manifestation, not simply just to obtain some superficial materialistic item, but to actually use manifestation as a tool to create an unfoldment of your consciousness and to come to the self-realization of who you truly are, and understanding that manifestation is, in fact, the key, the thing that helps you to reaffirm the fact that you are a creator. When you come to that point in your journey, and you really want to take this thing called manifestation, right? This art form of life. Once you decide to take this seriously, then you begin to go on the quest, the journey of really diving deep into how do you truly optimize this gift, this purpose, right? This essence of yours. And one of the things that you really have to do is to ignite your creative essence, because this is the part of you that really begins to light the fire of your remastery of manifestation, of understanding and living out your absolute purpose here in this realm, here on earth. When you understand how to ignite this creative essence of you, then you can build upon this. You can create a momentum of creation, a momentum of ultimately realizing that the things you materialize are parts, are elements, are pillars, are aspects of your unfoldment, your self-realization. So to get into really igniting this creative essence, you have to start with realizing that everything that you do is a creation. Everything that you do is a creation, and it is creating something, right? You are doing something for a reason. And that reason is your reason, right? Is your thing that you are wishing to create, right? You get up in the morning because there are things you have to do, right? You go to the shower because you are creating good hygiene. You brush your teeth because you're creating, again, good hygiene, good teeth. You're creating longevity within your teeth, right? Of your teeth. Everything that you do, you're cooking food, you're creating food to essentially create nutrients, to create a long-lasting, healthy, optimal, vital life, right? Everything that you do creates something. You're watching Netflix because you are creating enjoyment. You're creating even escapism because you're stressed out, right? And you need something to give you a break from all the things that you're constantly thinking about and feel like you have to deal with from day in and day out. So when you realize that everything that you do is you being a creator and you are creating something, then that allows you to realize that if you have to create something every second and every moment of your life, then you might as well create the things that you want. You might as well create enjoyment, create pleasure, create purpose throughout your life. And so when you think about creation, when you think about purpose, we often think about a large, grand scheme of what it is we wish to accomplish in life, what we would like to do, what we wish we could do. Not realizing that if you wish you can do it, that means it's possible for you can do it, right? For you to be able to do it. You just simply have to recognize who you are, recognize the God within you, recognize your ability to create anything is absolutely your essence. It is your nature. So now when we get into igniting this creative essence that is you, and we get into figuring out how to actually materialize this thing, this idea that we have that seems so grand and so far away. How do we actually do it? How do we actually create this thing? Well, we simply do it by recognizing that something that we are currently doing on the smallest scale is similar to the thing that we wish to do. You see, the biggest problem with materializing and manifestation is that we often create a block. We create a limitation because we assume that something is easy rather than something else being harder to achieve. We assume that it's easier to create $1 and that is harder, very hard to create $1 million. When in fact, when you ask millionaires, they will say it's really not that much different. So it's really a mindset of how you perceive easy versus hard. Just because you haven't done something doesn't mean that it's hard to do. You just have to simply go through the process of understanding how you get it done. And we talked about it before when we talked about intention and willpower. But now what you have to do is understand that everything that you have created so far throughout your life has set for you a blueprint of how you can create the thing that you want. Everything that you have created so far to you seems easy, it seems minuscule, it seems like no big deal at all. But yet you have this idea that this one thing or this series of things, right, that you dream about and wish to create are far away from you, that they are beyond you, and they aren't. Once you take away those limitations, those limiting beliefs, then you allow yourself to truly access and create those things. And so what you want to do is you really want to think about the thing that you want to create. Then come back to the present moment and think about the things that you are currently creating that are related to or similar to that thing that you wish to create. Once you come to that understanding of like, okay, well, this is what I want to do. I want to run a marathon. Now, I can't currently run a marathon because I'm a little bit out of shape. I'm not fit enough. I don't eat well enough, but I can walk 1 mile. If you are currently able to walk 1 mile, then you are able to run a marathon. You simply have to build on what you are currently doing to be able to do what you want to do, right? You have to build upon what you're doing in order to do the thing that you want to do. It just simply takes an approach of being disciplined and being consistent. Once you apply those things and you realize and recognize, okay, well, I am doing this to a very lesser degree, right? Because that's the limiting beliefs that we have in our mind. And so if I increase the volume, if I increase the quantity, if I increase the quality, then therefore I will increase the result. And so you are currently walking 1 mile. And if you increase that, maybe walk 2 miles, walk 3 miles, run 1 mile, run 2 miles, over the course of days and consistency and continuing to add and add and add, right? This is what we call a training. Then you will get to the point where you can run that marathon. So it applies to everything else. Remember, running a marathon is not about the complete sum of the distance or the steps. It's just really focusing on the one step at a time, right? One moment, one space, one place at a time. And you're moving from one place to the next place. You're taking one step and then the next step. It's simply about being present and in the moment, focused on what you're doing currently. Once that's done, you're going to the next thing. So recognize that what you're doing is the same as what you want to do. It just may look different. It may create a different result. It may be, different in quantity and quality, but ultimately it's the same. So if you are looking at yourself and you're saying, well, nothing that I'm doing is similar to the thing that I want to create. If you want to travel, right, and you're saying, well, I'm not traveling, I just basically go to work and come home, then what I ask you to do is to begin traveling. Begin traveling to the next town. Maybe every weekend you just simply take a road trip, you go to the next town, you explore what's going on in that town. You expand some more, you go to the next state and you explore what's going on in that state. So you do the same thing, it's the same concept, but you're doing it in a way that builds you up, that allows you to create an expansion upon the experience you are looking to create. So if your dream is to go to Thailand, to go to Jamaica, to go to Paris, to go to Europe, then you simply start with where you are. And if you have never traveled before, you just simply focus on expanding from the block that you're on, from the city that you live in, to the next city, and then expand out to the next state. And then eventually you're visiting various states. And then finally you're out of the country and you're expanding and getting further and further and further out to the actual destination, the result, the thing that you have been visualizing, the thing that you have been imagining for some time now. And finally you get to the result that you really have created for yourself. So in igniting the creative essence that is within you is really about acknowledging what you're already doing, or taking what it is that you want to do and making it so that you are doing something similar to it at the moment. And as you acknowledge that you are building, as you acknowledge that you are actually creating that same thing, that same essence, the same character, the same exercise, the same practice, then you can expand upon that and you will realize there is no difference from going from, to the next state over to going to the next country over. All right. When you realize how powerful you are and that everything that you wish to do, you're already doing, you're already able and capable of doing. You just simply have to let go of these limiting beliefs that are stopping you, that are creating doubt within you. You have to understand who you are. You are the God of your universe. That means there is nothing that you cannot do. So go ahead and do it. Thank you so much. Feel free to visit drabundant.com for my daily blog. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.